Welcome live from the Pain Cave. We're going to go over quick little tips on how to run faster with age. Because as I've experienced, I am no spring chicken anymore. But I like to think I've done a good job of actually getting faster over time. Part of that is due to education and knowing what to do right and when, avoid injuries. You kind of get naturally speedy over time. But if you're just running and you don't have a goal, you don't have focus, it's hard to get faster over time. But I want to give you a few quick tips on a nice little Facebook Live on a Wednesday. I need shirts for the days of the week. It's all kind of blending in together so far with the summer. So run faster with age. And it's not to demean anybody. I put myself in this category. I'm getting up there in age. So I am continually getting a little bit faster in my runs. Standalone marathon, half marathon, and 5K times, that type of thing. Also getting faster in my 70.3 distances. Having a little bit of trouble with the Ironman distance, but working on that right now. But this is my quick hit list for how to get faster with age. So you need to identify your goal. Is it the run only, or is it going to be the run at a 70.3 Ironman event? For this conversation, we're going to assume it's kind of more meant for the longer distance triathlon realm, but some of this will apply to if you're looking, a standalone half marathon, something like that. The same ideas and principles kind of apply. So analyze where you've lost your speed. Is it because you ended up walking a lot at the end of a race, or was it you're able to keep running, but over time you just kind of slowed down and you just kind of lost speed over time? So you need to kind of break down where that's happening at. Is it you've just gone out way too fast, or if you're walking, is there ways to get you to run walk over time a little bit better and incorporate that in your training? Or is it just a matter of you need to rethink your pacing strategy, and that will also make you faster over time too, if you're doing a lot less walking and more running or jogging. For triathlon, you always got to keep in mind the bike sets up the run. So if you're training for 70.3, you're training for a full Ironman distance, if you are focusing on the run and you take away from the bike, I think you're going to be in a situation where you're going to take away speed and endurance for the run as well. So don't detract away from the bike. There's a good maintenance mode you can be for the bike program, but whatever you do, don't take away from the bike, especially if you're going to go onto a course that's a little bit challenging. Ironman Chattanooga, Ironman Wisconsin, those type of events where you're facing 4,500, 4,800 feet of climbing on the bike. If you take away from your bike training, you're definitely going to feel that in the run, regardless of how you train for the run. You could train for a 3-hour marathon split, but if you don't train right for the bike, you go out there and the run's just not going to happen for you, because you're not going to have that energy left after the bike ride. Improve form and economy. So right now, we're going through quarantine and races are not happening or been postponed or whatever. Now's a great time. Get a form assessment done. I do them for my athletes. I do them for my non-101 athletes. But see where you can actually save energy, because over a long distance, if you're slowing down over time, maybe if you improve the form and economy, that you can actually last a little bit longer because you're not taxing your muscles as much longer and deeper into the race. Frequency over time, that does not mean more volume. It means necessarily, it means instead of, you're doing a 6-miler and then you take a day off and then you do a 6-miler or something. It's not increasing to 8 or 10 miles. It's doing a 6-miler, then one day you're doing a 2 to 3 miles, and then you're doing some people want to call them junk miles, but frequency over time is a good ingredient if done correctly to increase your muscular endurance, so you can run with better form, you can run with economy, you can run efficiently, and you can do that over time. But frequency over time is a good key. So adding, and like I said, it doesn't have to be, you're adding another 8-mile run into the week. It's an 8-miler or 6-miler or something like that, and then if you do a bike ride and it's just a 2 or 3 mile quick, brick run off the bike, just to get in a little bit more frequency. It might equal a little bit more volume, but it's not substantial amounts of volume. Just adding more run volume will not necessarily make you faster over time. It could actually set you up for injury and some other, overtraining and that type of thing. Change your long run approach. So instead of slogging out a 21-miler, break it up. I've done videos on it before. Break it up into a 10 in the morning and a 10 in the afternoon, or break it up into a 10 on Saturday and a 10 on Sunday. So look at ways to break up that long run, or maybe just spread it out over more days. Because once you get over that 2-hour mark, you're doing more damage than you really need to. You're creating a situation where you need more recovery and more days off and more rest. But if you break it down and cap one at a two hours and then finish up the rest of the run later in the afternoon, you've incorporated recovery in that day, and you're not going to stress your body to the point where it takes longer to recover, and especially as you get older, it's more difficult to recover. So it's just not about the speed work. So all these approaches, and none of it have I said you need to go out and do more mile repeats, you need to do more threshold intervals. It needs to be a good staple in there, but if your body is to a point where you cannot go out there and run high intensities without causing injuries, then you need to look at other ways that you could be speedier, which could equate to more economy and being more efficient over time. So it's not just about speed work. It's not going out there and hammering it 2 or 3 times a week to get that speed in there. Once you get past a certain point in your maturity, going out there and doing speed work isn't necessarily going to make you faster over time. There are different things you could do. So that's my quick tips. Any questions, put them in the comments or anything like that, and we will see you in the next Facebook Live or video post that we do. Talk to you later.